News at Noon starts right now.
Today on the News at Noon, road closures, unfortunately, starting tonight, the areas to avoid, and what's in store for the San Antonio Missions, why the team's new stadium is a topic of discussion at City Council today. Plus, police are still looking for a driver in a deadly hit-and-run crash. But first, to Uvalde, the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol is set to release its own report on their response to the Robb Elementary shooting. The agency had 149 people there on May 24th, 2022, the largest of any agency. Our Daniela Ibarra has been following this for us. Daniela, this report is going to have a lot of information.
Yeah, a lot of information, and this is one of the pages of the report that families were given this morning. It's one page of 200 pages. I'm told that the families got copies of the whole thing this morning. Now, this page, it breaks down the response to the shooting that day, minute by minute, and you can see there's parts of here blacked out. Those are names of officers. That's a key piece of information that we don't have. We're still waiting to see a copy of the report for ourselves. That could happen as soon as this afternoon. The agency says members of BORTAC, the agency's tactical unit, are the ones who exchanged gunfire with the shooter. Now, this is video released last month showing the moments leading up to law enforcement breaching the classroom. It took 77 minutes for anyone to confront the shooter. 19 kids and 2 teachers were killed at Robb Elementary that day. Now, this report is the third tied to May 24th, 2022 that's been released this year. The Department of Justice and the city released their own reports earlier this year, both in January and in March.
So one of several reports that have come out, now this one's coming out. When did the families know of this report?
So one of the family members told me that they always knew that there was an investigation that Border Patrol was doing, but they got the call this week that it was coming out, and they met with them earlier this week.
What are we expecting, or how extensive are some of these reports that are coming out?
So we're still waiting to see it for ourselves, like I mentioned. So what one of the family members told me is that there's 2 versions of this report. There's a 200-page one that they got earlier this morning that's more, I guess, consolidated, and then a 2,000-page one that's more detailed, goes into detail. We don't know what exactly that is, though. We're still waiting to see that for ourselves.
And when do we hope to have access to that?
So we're hoping as early as this afternoon.
Okay, awesome stuff. Lots of work to be done.
Yeah.
Best of luck. Thank you for that, Daniela. All right, now taking a look at live cam on this Thursday afternoon. A beautiful looking day, lots of clouds. Mia, we had an autumn appetizer that has been devoured.
Yes, it's gone now, so hopefully you like a little taste of summer, because that's certainly what it's going to feel like this afternoon, and temperatures cranking up even more so tomorrow and into the start of the upcoming weekend. Take a look at temperatures right now. We started off this morning in the low 70s. The humidity is back. You can feel it when you step outside. 85 right now here in San Antonio, thanks to some of the peaks of sunshine within those passing clouds that we do have out and about. 90 degrees already in New Braunfels. Current temperature over there in Floresville is 85. Plenty of sunshine, though, is expected later on this afternoon, helping those high temperatures climb into the mid-90s here in San Antonio. That is above average for this time of year. 91 degrees expected for any evening plans around 7 p.m. Then we'll start to see those temperatures fall into the 80s after the sun goes down. Now, as I mentioned, looking ahead to tomorrow and even into Saturday, temperatures are expected to build upper 90s currently in the forecast, feeling a few degrees hotter when you factor in the humidity. We are dry for now, but a few isolated rain chances return early next week. That is what they are, just isolated, not looking at high coverage, unfortunately. However, because of some rain that we saw the past couple of weeks, new drought monitor update came out earlier this morning. We did see some improvements. We'll get those to you coming up a little bit later on. JP.
Thank you, Mia. Now to a traffic alert for you this noon. The Texas Department of Transportation says there will be closures along 410 on the northeast side starting tonight. This is all part of the Interstate 35 Northeast Expansion Project. TxDOT says Loop 410's westbound main lanes at Perrin Bidle Road will be closed tonight and tomorrow night. The agency tells us the main lanes will be closed at 8 p.m. each evening and reopen at 6 the next morning. Here's how you can get around that closure. If you're on 410, take exit 25B. That's the Perrin Bidle exit. That gets you onto Loop 410's frontage road. Then you can drive through the Perrin Bidle intersection and use the next entrance ramp to get back onto Loop 410. And a reminder, this is a nightly closure. It takes place tonight and tomorrow night. We also have all this information on our website, KSAT.com. Now, San Antonio police are trying to find a driver who they say played a role in a deadly crash, then took off. SAPD blocked off a stretch of Babcock Avenue next or near to St. Cloud, where everything happened around 7 this morning. Police say a man in a pickup somehow hit a woman walking in the street. They add when that driver got out to check on her, another driver came along and hit them both and kept going. The woman who was hit first and then a second time died. The driver who stopped to check on the woman was injured and went to a hospital. The only information police have about the secondary car that took off is that it was in gray in color. Investigators are trying to figure out what sparked a late-night fire at a motel on the city's east side. The fire was called in around 11:30 p.m. at a Super 8 motel on Roland Road. It's not far from I-10 and South Walter Street. Firefighters arrived to find a suspicious fire in a second-floor motel room. Luckily, they quickly managed to put it out, and no one was hurt. A pre-trial hearing took place this morning for the man charged in a brutal attack of his ex-wife and 2 young daughters. Stephen Clare is accused of shooting Mariah Gardner and stabbing their 2 young daughters, Rosalie and 11th-month-old Willow, back in April of last year. Willow did not survive her injuries. In court, the defense requested Child Protective Services records be turned over, which the judge granted. Meanwhile, prosecutors revealed the firearm used in that attack was recovered and is now being tested at the Bexar County Crime Lab. Because of that evidence being newly discovered, that expected trial date of October 11th will now be reset and pushed back. The case will return to the courtroom in 45 days. Claire is facing the death penalty if convicted. Also in court this morning, Manuel Medina. A couple weeks ago, the former chair of the Bexar County Democratic Party had his house searched as part of an investigation by the Texas Attorney General's office. The AG's office claims Medina was recorded discussing a scheme to collect votes for Democratic candidate for the Texas House, Cecilia Castellano. In court this morning, attorneys for Medina argued the state only had an order to search the home but not seize digital devices. The presiding judge did not rule on the protective order Medina filed because he said it was a premature filing. We'll have more on this hearing later this afternoon, including hearing from Castellano, who was in attendance. The City Council is scheduled to vote on the broad strokes of a plan for a new minor league baseball stadium in downtown San Antonio. The $160 million Missions Ballpark project relies on developing the surrounding area along San Pedro Creek as well. That development would create new tax revenue to help pay for the stadium's construction. But it would also force out residents of the low-cost soap factory apartments in waves over the next 5 years. Though the developer and city officials say there is a plan to help displaced residents, soap factory tenants have called for council to hold off on today's vote. People in San Antonio say bad crashes on Castroville Road are common. We've been telling you about these safety concerns in the Westwood Square neighborhood for nearly a year. Today, in a Know My Neighborhood follow-up, the city says it's finalizing a study to figure out how to make the street safer. And as our Avery Everett shows us, neighbors say it can't come soon enough.
People just take off like they're on a speedway.
Castroville Road has a reputation.
The cars are always speeding.
It's not safe at all.
And safety here is a community-wide concern.
How many tragedies need to happen before somebody does something to address the problem?
Neighbors say this stretch of the Castroville corridor between Southwest 36th Street and South General McMullen Road is dangerous because there aren't any traffic lights or stop signs to slow people down. They say this is an old problem that's still causing new issues.
We heard loud booms, looked out the window, and we saw the car rolling over.
Just 2 weeks ago, 2 cars collided at this intersection. Security camera footage shows the severity, but the San Antonio Fire Department that day told us no one got hurt. It happened outside of the Madonna Center, and the CEO says one of his families was in the car hit.
Fortunately, she had not picked the child up yet, or else God knows what would have happened.
The debris from that accident is clear now, but the community concern is still here. That's why the city is studying this street to see what change can come for Westwood Square.
Whatever traffic study recommends, we will go to the community, get input from community, and implement.
The city says by the end of this month, it's expecting to finish 2 things in this project: the traffic study and the design of a permanent traffic light. The study, which costs around $68,000, will look at crash data, traffic flow, and land use to provide safety recommendations. But once that's finished, it's not a done deal.
We will need probably additional funding.
But the city says the traffic light here is, and they're going to start construction later this year.
Put something in place.
A green light on this project brings a sigh of relief to Westwood Square.
It's long overdue.
But it's one they're still holding their breath on until change truly comes to Castroville Road. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
The oldest and longest standing VFW post in the state is right here in San Antonio. Coming up, we take a look at the thousands of dollars of repairs the post has made and the work that still needs to be done. While it might be a scary thought for some going to the dentist regularly, it is important. As one man's story sheds light, those yearly screenings could help you save your jaw. Welcome back. Your time is 12:12 in the afternoon, and imagine going to a routine dental exam and finding a problem that could lead to losing your jaw. It's exactly what happened to one football player during his preseason dental screening. That's why UT Health San Antonio is raising awareness on the importance of routine care, not just for athletes, but for everyone.
He was a quarterback, and we had made impressions, and it looked like the impression had some distortion.
It's a story that sounds more like a nightmare.
And there was a giant mass in the roof of his mouth, and it ended up being a giant cell granuloma, which that could have potentially made him lose his entire upper jaw if not detected.
Dr. Scott Stafford is an associate dean for patient care at UT Health San Antonio School of Dentistry. He says he discovered that tumor during a student athlete's preseason dental screening, even though that athlete had just been to his family dentist 4 months earlier.
So it's a very aggressive, very rapidly growing tumor. We were able to coordinate his care, get him in with some of the oral surgeons here at UT Health San Antonio, and through their quick actions and treating him with some different medications, he didn't lose his upper jaw.
So aside from that preseason physical, Dr. Stafford says athletes really need to be thinking about their dental health.
We want to make sure they're at their peak performance, both dentally as well as physically.
Dr. Stafford, along with his team of dental students and faculty, worked this summer to get UTSA football players fitted for mouth guards by taking impressions using digital scanning. But these checkups also allowed them to identify players who needed work.
And so looking for any possibility, especially in that age range, of maybe wisdom teeth that could cause a problem, or decay that's present, or anything like that that could sideline them during the season.
Stephanie Cerna, KSAT 12 News.
Taking a look at live cam. Beautiful Thursday. Mia, after that story, I've just told you I've been putting off the dentist for like 2 or 3 weeks. I think I'm going to make that phone call after the newscast.
There you go. Not a bad idea. Always important to get those routine checkups done when it comes to your teeth, right? Yes, as JP mentioned, it is a beautiful looking day out there. We do have some passing clouds. Wish they were tall enough to provide some of us with a little bit of rain. The high pressure is actually moving in over the next couple of days, so rain chances are out of the forecast until at least early next week. The aquifer could use some rain, down almost half of a foot at 632.2. Better news in today's pollen count. Molds, fall elm, and ragweed are all present, but they fall and are low. Another check of that forecast coming up.
Welcome back, everyone. We're back to the heat.
We're back to the heat.
Autumn appetizer, that's gone. We got football season.
It doesn't feel like football season, though. And that's the thing, because I know it's Thursday. We have Thursday evening football games, even tomorrow and into Saturday. Know that it's going to be hot to start off those games. It'll get better after the sun goes down, but it's not nearly as comfortable out there as what we saw earlier this week when we had the little front move through, the drier air. It was a nice change of pace, but this is summer's last grasp. It's trying so hard to hang on. So yes, above average temperatures expected through the weekend. I want to start, though, JP, with the new drought monitor that we got in, because we finally started to see some improvements. Take a look at this, though. This was last week's drought monitor update. I want you to focus on this pocket of red across portions of the hill country just to the south of Kerrville, eastern Bandera, far northern Medina County. I'm going to fade on this week's drought monitor update, and you can see that for the first time since late last year, that pocket of extreme drought has now been erased. We still do have drought in place, but it's more to the tune of severe drought. Improvements nonetheless, thanks to some of the rain that we saw a couple of weeks ago that finally was included in today's update. We still have some work to do. Also, it is worth noting, though, that the San Antonio area, much of Bexar County, has now been erased from even moderate drought and has just been replaced with abnormally dry conditions. So we will take anything that we can get when it comes to improvements in the drought monitor update. Of course, we are dry out there today, and that will continue to be the theme over the next several days, but it has been a much different story for our friends and neighbors just off to the east across portions of Louisiana. We know that Francine made landfall yesterday as a Category 2 hurricane. Take a look at some of the rainfall totals near New Orleans, even Slidell. About 5 to 7 inches have been noted in this pocket of purple that you see right there, eastern Louisiana, just to the east of Baton Rouge. And some of those rainfall totals also stretching up into Mississippi now, near and just to the southeast of Jackson. Already about 4 inches being estimated as Francine continues to weaken but work its way farther up to the north. This is the latest update that came in from the National Hurricane Center at the top of the 10 a.m. hour. Francine has weakened to tropical depression status, but you can see heavy rain floating up Mississippi. A lot of those rain bands stretching over into Alabama and even Georgia this Thursday afternoon. Francine is expected to continue weakening as it works its way farther up to the north, right along the Mississippi River Valley into a remnant low, but still it's going to slow over the next couple of days, which means additional inches of rain will certainly be a possibility. Even near the Huntsville area, it's possible they see another 5 inches of rain near and just to the west of Nashville, about 3 inches. So this will be something to continue to monitor for friends and family out that way. A few more flash flooding issues certainly will be a possibility off to our northeast. But back here at home, it is a much different story. We are dry all the way through the weekend, just a 10% chance for a stray shower late on Sunday, bumping that up to a 20% potential as we start to see some Pacific moisture work its way into our neck of the woods. But even that is going to be very isolated, with more of us than not, unfortunately, missing out. So in the meantime, 85 degrees right now here in San Antonio. Notice with the humidity sitting on the elevated side, it does already feel like 90 degrees here in San Antonio. We are expecting plenty of peaks of sunshine into this afternoon, a high temperature right around 95 degrees. 91 expected by 7 p.m. Mostly clear skies later on this evening, allowing those thermometers to fall into and through the 80s later on tonight, but still an above average day expected. Low to mid 90s across the area, of course, feeling a few degrees warmer thanks to that moisture in place. How about upper 90s tomorrow and into Saturday? That's when heat indices could climb into the low triple digits. So still be careful out there with some of this heat returning. We'll talk a little bit more in depth about that setup coming up in the next half hour. JP.
Awesome stuff. Thank you, Mia. Thousands of dollars of repairs have been made to VFW Post 76, but the historic home that has been standing for 130 years still needs a lot of work to be done. Coming up, how you can help and enjoy yourself. You've probably walked or even driven past this building several times. It's VFW Post 76 in San Antonio, KSAT's neighbor, which also happens to be the longest standing VFW post in the state. The historic home was built in the late 1800s. Now it's getting renovated, but the work isn't cheap, and there's a lot in that building that needs to be fixed.
We're missing pieces of lumber, bottom line. And then structurally, they were missing pieces of structure, bottom line too. So it just wasn't cosmetic, it was structural, internal. Fix me up.
The home that is VFW Post 76 has been standing for 130 years. There's still original pieces of the home from the late 1800s, but over the more than a century's time, renovations have been needed, and that's currently the case.
Our worst exterior conditions, which was the overhang of the roof, we had a lot of dry rot and a lot of missing components. They just fall off because the nails, the fasteners, don't have anything else to grip on anymore because the moisture has entered into the rafter tails.
Steve Trevino with Post 76 explains the roof of the historic home was in the worst shape. The Post was able to repair 4 of 5 sections of the roof for $34,000 thanks to help from the Petty family, who previously owned the home before selling it to the VFW after World War II.
We need to have this place here because when you're able to see 2 different generations, 3 generations of a gap of veterans talking, the younger one and the older one, it's breathtaking. And it's reverence. It's like there's so much respect there.
You talked about one of the great reasons why the VFW is an amazing spot for veterans, but It also offers so much more than just a gathering spot.
Yes, and everything from veterans suicide to veterans with homes that are falling apart.
And Davino says Post 76 is trying to secure a federal grant as well as one through Bexar County to continue with the needed facelift to the oldest and longest standing VFW post in the state.
Grants are going to be strictly dedicated to the infrastructure of the house, whether it be mechanical, electrical, plumbing, or exterior or interior finishes.
But the Post isn't just relying on grants, which is why they have fundraising events at Post 76, like one on Saturday. They're throwing the Lobster, yes, that's with an AH, the Lobster Palooza Riverwalk Festival. They'll have food, drinks, vendors, and plenty of live music from noon to midnight. And a new study finds that more than half of the global population isn't eating enough of several important nutrients. Coming up, the 7 nutrients you need to make sure you're getting enough of.
Hurricane Francine leading down trees, power lines, and high floodwaters. I'm Mike Ajachi reporting in New Orleans. Coming up, a look at the damage left by Hurricane Francine.
Now to Francine, which has weakened into a tropical depression after making landfall in Louisiana as a Category 2 hurricane yesterday, leaving behind a path of destruction. ABC's Ike Ajachi explains how the storm continues to drop heavy rain and flooding through the region as it moves north.
Francine slamming Louisiana as a Category 2 hurricane. Heavy rain and high winds pummeling the state. Trees and power lines taken down, some even ignited. These power lines cracking and crashing as cars navigate the streets. Some areas experiencing 5 to 6 inches of rain per hour. A flash flood emergency triggered in New Orleans. Cars submerged, streets turned into rivers, and drivers forced to walk the roadways instead, using flashlights, their shoes and hands. The town of Thibodaux, Louisiana, was hit particularly hard. More than 24 people rescued from flooding so far.
I think people were prepared for this storm. Certainly the city of Thibodaux was prepared for this storm, but I have to be honest, this one packed a little bit heavier of a punch and more rain than what we anticipated late last night.
This video shows what crews must navigate on the water as a shrimp boat travels on a river through little visibility. Louisiana has activated more than 2,000 National Guard troops as some areas brace for 10 feet of storm surge.
Nervous, overwhelmed, scared.
Even though you've been through storms before?
I still feel the same way every time a storm comes.
In Jefferson Parish, officials warning the sewage system has been overwhelmed by floodwater and could back up into homes. Francine now downgraded to a tropical depression, also affecting Mississippi and Alabama. Here in New Orleans, there was a daily record of more than 7 inches of rain that fell. Francine is now the 3rd continental U.S. hurricane to make landfall this year, with less than 3 months to go in this hurricane season. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, New Orleans.
Now taking a look at live cam. Again, a beautiful Thursday. We got that summer-like feels. We wish we got some rain.
Yes, we never like to see, destruction, heavy-duty flooding issues, but we will definitely take any rain that we can get. At least we did see some improvements to the drought monitor update, which we showed you a little bit earlier. But we are drying things out over the next couple of days and heating up. That's going to be the big story, at least in the near term. Take a look at temperatures out there right now across South Central Texas. Already 92 in Beeville, 90 degrees out west in Del Rio, 91 in Cotulla. Meanwhile, we are still sitting at 85 degrees. Here in the Alamo City. Later on this afternoon, 95 degrees, the high temperature in San Antonio, but it's possible as you work your way farther off to the west, closer to the Rio Grande. For places like Eagle Pass, Carrizo Springs, and Del Rio, we could see those air temperatures approach the century mark. Now, we also talked about this a little bit earlier. It is still going to be hot if you're stepping out to any Thursday evening football games later on this evening. Sitting in the low 90s, then we'll start to see those thermometers fall into the 80s later on tonight. Looking ahead to our Friday, upper 90s expected here in San Antonio, mostly sunny skies. Then we'll also continue to see those above average temperatures carry over into the upcoming weekend. Cloud cover increasing and just a few isolated chances for rain into early next week. We'll be back to talk a little bit more about that, plus another disturbance out in the Atlantic coming up in just a few, JP.
And to look forward to. Thank you, Mia. There will be extra security on Capitol Hill this coming January 6th. That's when members of Congress meet to certify the electoral votes from the 2024 presidential election. That'll be the first election certification since the U.S. Capitol attack on 2021. And this time, Congress will have the full weight of the federal government behind its security. There will be more officers on the ground, broader security perimeters, and technology to detect potential materials used in weapons of mass destruction. The FBI will also monitor for threats around the event in the months prior. Jobless claims inched up in the first week of September. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, new jobless claims rose by 2,000 in the week ending September 7th. That brought the total number of new jobless claims for that week to 230,000. But while new jobless claims were up, the number of continuing claims fell during the first week of September. There were over 43,000 fewer continuing claims compared to the week before. The Department of Labor says the data shows layoffs are not ramping up significantly, even as the labor market cools. Yet another reminder to eat your greens. A new study says people aren't getting enough of 6 different nutrients. It found more than 5 billion people don't consume enough iodine, vitamin E, or calcium, and more than 4 billion people aren't getting enough iron, riboflavin, folate, and vitamin C. The data doesn't include nutrients people might get from supplements and fortified foods. The study was published in the journal The Lancet Global Health. It's a project that helps students and families, but the Head Start program may need some help of its own, why it may need to stretch its budget to meet the needs of the community in the coming years. Some lucky jackpot winners are leaving millions on the table where winning tickets remain unclaimed. There's at least one Texan missing out on millions of dollars. A winning Mega Millions jackpot ticket still remains unclaimed. And not only that, someone in New Jersey bought a ticket worth $1.1 billion, that's with a B, billion, in New Jersey back in March, but it still hasn't been claimed either. Winners in the Garden State have up to a year to claim their prizes. If the jackpot isn't claimed in that time, every state that participates in the lottery will get back the amount they contributed. Most of them put it back into their lottery fund, but they are not required to do so. Mia, couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me either.
I could use a couple billion.
Oh, we could. Yes, that would be nice. But alas, hey, at least we're here, though. I mean, that's fun.
Yeah, that's true.
That's fun, yeah. So we've got some mix of sun and clouds out there right now. It is going to be another above average afternoon here in San Antonio. We've got a forecast high around 95 degrees. Temperatures already in the mid 80s. By the way, if that verifies, that will be above average. The average for this time of year is 91. The record for the day, though, 103, set back in the 1890s, so not as hot as that. We do still have above average temperatures leading into the upcoming weekend. Just isolated chances for rain into early next week. More details on all of that coming right up.
Welcome back, everybody. Your time is 12:42 in the afternoon. We know we're going to be hot, especially heading into the weekend.
Yep.
But coming out of the weekend, rain chances slight.
Just isolated, but at the very least, some added cloud cover that will hold temperatures down a little bit. I mean, we're still going to be above average in the mid 90s, and even long-term guidance over the next couple of weeks still suggests that we're going to continue to see these above average temperatures, but we'll take any little chance for rain that we can get at this time of year. All right, more on that in just a second. I actually do want to point out that Tuesday, September 10th, was the peak, the climatological peak of the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season, which officially runs from the start of June all the way through the end of November. And of course, this year, the peak coincided with Francine that was organizing in the western Gulf of Mexico. Again, made landfall yesterday along the central Louisiana coastline as a Category 2 hurricane. That system continues to work its way farther up to the north across the Mississippi River Valley. It has weakened to a tropical depression, winds sustained now at 35 miles per hour, and it's moving to the north at about 14 miles per hour. So still heavy rain expected for our friends and neighbors well off to the northeast. We stay dry here in San Antonio over the next couple of days. I do also want to mention that there is another disturbance out in the far eastern Atlantic Ocean. This is Tropical Depression 7. It did form yesterday. It's expected to take a jog farther off to the west over the next several days, potentially strengthening into a tropical storm. But even into early next week, that's pretty much it. There are a few other disturbances that just have a low chance for tropical development, one near the Lesser Antilles and then another one off the east coast. But again, as of right now, none of these are as of any concern for us here in South Central Texas in San Antonio. But if you were curious, the next name on the list for this season is Gordon, followed by Helene, Isaac, Joyce, Kirk, and then Leslie. So we'll keep you posted on that over the next several weeks as we continue to march through this hurricane season. But back here at home, we still have plenty of sunshine out there in the Alamo City. 85 degrees this lunchtime hour, feeling closer to 90. Actually feels like the mid-90s already in New Braunfels with an actual air temperature of 89, air temperature of 84 over there in Bernie, stretching over to Kerrville as well. Here's a look at high temperatures across the region. The average for this time of year is 91. We'll be close to that in Bernie and Comfort, even Kerrville, but above that for most of Bexar County, stretching off to the south. 96 this afternoon in Pleasanton, 94 over in Castroville. I want to show you this again because earlier whenever I did show it, these numbers didn't update correctly. This is the correct Thursday night football forecast. Again, still hot by kickoff. 91 degrees expected 7 p.m. Mostly sunny skies, transitioning to mostly clear skies still. After the sun goes down, temperatures falling through the 80s. Winds will be fairly calm. Not much of a breeze out there today. Out of the north-northeast, sustained at about 5 miles per hour. High pressure moving in over the next couple of days, which means thermometers could actually trend up by a couple of degrees tomorrow and into Saturday. Notice your feels like temperatures here. When you factor in the moisture that we do have in place, heat index values could actually exceed 100 degrees for a few hours in the afternoons. Now it is the middle of September. Thankfully, we don't have air temperatures forecasted to reach 100 degrees, but with these summer-like conditions returning after a little bit of a break earlier this week, just be careful out there in that heat. There's that high pressure system that's going to be swinging across South Central Texas throughout the upcoming weekend. As it starts to work its way off to the east, we see a little bit more Pacific moisture work into our neck of the woods by late this weekend and into early next week. Yes, we're expecting some added cloud cover, especially on Sunday, which could hold high temperatures down to the low to mid 90s. I wish we had better chances for rain. As of right now, just very, very isolated each day, with more of us than not missing out. So we'll continue to keep you posted on that in the days ahead.
Thank you, Mia. Over 3,000 children in our community are reaching their full potential thanks to a federally and locally funded program. But the need for those services is great, and the wait list is even greater. Our Patty Santos tells us it's not just about educating kids, but it's also creating stronger parents.
Our mission statement is preparing children and engaging families for school readiness and lifelong success.
Since 1965, the Head Start program has been meeting the needs for families in the federal poverty line. The $34 million federal dollars and a $7 million match by the city of San Antonio provides childcare for 3,300 plus kids under the age of 5 in the San Antonio and Edgewood ISD areas, which are the two areas they serve.
So there are circumstances that we'll look at. If a child has a disability, if they're foster care, if they're a family experiencing homelessness. So there's various ways to kind of look at that. That can make them eligible other than just the income.
Cassandra Faria-Zabar with Head Start says it's not just about getting kids school ready. Head Start also provides resources and home-based care for parents.
Once they come into our program, that frees the parent up to be able to go after those goals and their wishes and their dreams as well, which could include getting a job and having a better, successful life for them.
Applications are open year-round. There may be a waiting list specifically for infant child care, but apply anyway.
If parents are interested in the program, they can find more information on our website, which is saheadstart.org.
The Paralympics wrapped up in Paris, but for one San Antonio athlete, her journey to make it there is underway now, and her training is nonstop. Today's SA Live's Jen Tobias-Strusky introduces us to a 12-year-old that is proving that determination can get you not 1, but 8 national medals.
My my coach told me that if I just follow my dreams, I can keep training and start doing competition and probably break some national records like I did last year and this year.
To be clear, Noelani Spicer has 8 gold medals. Yes, 8. For the 100 meter, 200 meter, 400 meter, and 800 meter, along with shot put, discus, javelin, and archery. Her team of coaches have been guiding her through this journey, including Scott LeBlanc.
It makes me very proud to see the amount of work. I mean, we start training every year in February when it's, bitter cold. And we end in July when Nationals is around. So, we go all the way through the coldest time of the year to the warmest time of the year, and these athletes endure it all. Her support system, her parents are always there beside her. So, it's all these pieces of her dedication and work, her parents and stuff that make this come to fruition. It's very exciting.
Now, she's been doing track since age 5. So she's been in it for a while, and there was a couple of years where she had some surgeries and she couldn't compete. The last 2 years have been the most intense competitions that she's been part of. She did archery clinic, and like I said, she did track and field, and she fell in love with both of them.
One thing's for sure, while she's excelling in sports, her personality is also winning. As her coaches tell me, Noelani's energy is contagious.
Really, she makes such a huge difference for everyone around her, especially with her teammates. Each practice we have, she comes with so much intensity and is always willing to give her all. And I have the opportunity to coach Noelani throughout the off season as well. During the track season, she's racing and logging a ton of mileage and just getting herself faster and faster. But in the off season, we have a strength and conditioning program. Even when it comes to that, she comes in full force. If I need to rely on one of my athletes to kind of lighten the mood and just hype everyone up, it's going to be Noelani.
Do you get a rush right before?
Yeah, sometimes I always do get a rush before competition because when I feel rushed, it's because I'm excited to do competition and be with all my friends.
Well, for me, I just love watching her, and I'm probably her biggest cheerleader because every time in races she can hear me, I'm over there yelling, push it, push it. And she's over there.
I can hear him from across the field. I can hear my dad from across the field.
Wow, that's good, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
And
good.
the awesome thing is that we're not pushing her to do it. She's motivated to do it.
Kinetic Kids and Straps at Morgan's Wonderland has played a big role in Noelani's journey, allowing her to borrow equipment during training and competitions. The racer alone is worth $5,000. Noelani's goal is to make it to the Paralympics, and she's working on it, no matter what classification she has to compete against.
So if she was to get to that level, she might have to race against people that are higher
like
classifications than
T34s.
her.
Like T34s.
And so she's looking at to challenge those times.
Yeah.
It's just that she has less mobility than those that are in a higher classification.
I asked Noelani if she'd like to share a message with other kids who may be doubting themselves when it comes to adaptive sports.
Just keep trying. So you can do whatever you
You're fine. She gets very emotional.
No, that's okay. That's okay, sweet girl.
You can.
do whatever you can.
Because you did it. And look at you.
That's a powerful message, and push it. Keep pushing it. All right, remember SA Live is now in its new time slot, 10 a.m. on weekdays after GMSA at 9, but you can always get SA Live content on demand. Just go to salive.com or download the KSAT Plus app. And we are gearing up for this year's Head for the Cure 5K. It'll be on September 28th at Providence Catholic School. You can register right now by scanning the QR code on your screen. It'll take you directly to the website to register. Proceeds from Head for the Cure go to brain cancer research. For more information, just visit ksatcommunity.com.
All right, let's get one final look at current conditions outside, what we can expect for the remainder of this Thursday. We are now up to 87 degrees here in San Antonio. A little bit hotter on the south side of town, 88 at Stinson, 90 over at Port SA. Again, plenty of sunshine expected later on this afternoon, 93 by 2 p.m., 95 around 5 o'clock for the forecast high temperature, feeling like the upper 90s and even closing in on that triple-digit mark in a few locations because of the humidity in place. We'll start to see those temperatures fall into and through the 80s after the sun goes down, with clear skies expected through the overnight. I think we could start off with a few clouds first thing tomorrow morning, but even more sunshine returns into the afternoon. Upper 90s as summer tries to hold on for a little bit longer. Then we'll monitor also for a few isolated chances for rain that look to return to the forecast into early next week. Wish they were more scattered. Wish they were a little bit better. Most of us still missing out, but we'll keep tabs on it.
Mid-90s across the board, mid-September. Looking nice for the pool.
Hey, release a little bit.
Or watch football inside.
There you go.
There you go. Thanks for joining us, guys.